Hello. I wanted to go over the games I played in January 2024, and I beat 5 games this month. But since this is my first recap video, I just want to quickly go over what I consider a beaten game. And in my personal criteria, it's just rolling credits. I'm definitely not a completionist. I try to get as many achievements as I can, but I work full time, so getting all that is very difficult, and I would never be able to get through any of my games if I was a completionist. Maybe I'll dabble in it eventually, but not anytime soon. So I want to start off with Mortal Kombat 1. And to put it simply, I am very bad at fighting games, but I enjoy the characters and the lore, so I usually end up buying it anyway. Especially since this game was on sale for Black Friday, it was an easy purchase. I went through the whole entire story mode, and I did a little bit of the Invasions game mode because I think Johnny Cage is funny, and that game mode is pretty entertaining. And narratively, the game story was intriguing, and I was invested at first, but then in my opinion, I think it fell off towards the end. I thought the way they ended it was really cheesy, even though it was cool to see the different characters. But besides that, the character models were very expressive and just overall very nice to look at. And it made me really happy to have a PS5 because, you can really tell they upped the quality of the models in this game, in my opinion. I think I'm just really sick of multiverse plots, and that's sort of what Mortal Kombat 1 devolved into towards the end. For Shin Megami Tensei 5, I really enjoyed that game, surprisingly, because I'm not usually a game mechanics person. Gameplay is not my priority when I'm playing games. I definitely play more for the narrative. If it has good gameplay, it's another plus, but it's not something I look heavily into. The game loop for SMT5 was really satisfying, especially when you're exploring the world of Dot, because for a game that's on the Switch, it runs very well. It had few frame drops. The environments are really nice for a Switch game. Dragon Quest still has the best environment so far. Besides that, for the story of SMT5, I really enjoyed the plot towards the end. I wasn't vibing with it at first, but it sort of grew on me, despite the really weak characterizations. Next, I want to go over Baldur's Gate 1, and I really enjoyed this game. And I played it mostly on the Steam Deck, so I did adjust the difficulty to a lower setting because it's harder to micromanage your characters on the Steam Deck. And I know that's gonna make some people mad because Baldur's Gate is all about the gameplay, but also the story is equally as important, and I think the story of the ball spawn and just Gorian's ward is very fulfilling. I enjoy it a lot. Also, I really dislike real time with pause, so that's my other issue, but that's literally just a personal preference. But I think Baldur's Gate 1 has a really great setup. It's a simple mystery. You're trying to figure out who killed your adoptive father and who you are, and you also make a lot of friends and companions along the way, whether or not you're more good leaning or evil leaning. It's very cool for such an old game that you see reactivity with your companions. I was very surprised when Jaheira and Khalid killed some of the evil companions I recruited and told me that I needed to be better, but that's when I really fell in love with the game. I think the story of the ball spawn is just very iconic, and I'm tempted to do just a separate video analyzing it because there's so much depth to these games. I've always just enjoyed stories about characters trying to fight against their destiny or fully leaning towards it. Nature versus nurture, all that, and does who you come from ultimately control who you are? There's a lot. There's a lot for such a seemingly like simple plot in the beginning. But yeah, I am a huge BioWare fan despite everything, and these two games, because I'm playing Baldur's Gate 2 right now, Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 and Dragon Age Origins definitely have some of the strongest writing of BioWare, and they're just so clever and fun to read. And if you can, I don't know, if you can get over not having voice acting, I would highly recommend these. I mean, there's some voice acting, but not everything. And if you can, like, read through everything, it's very fulfilling to play through those games. Next, I want to go over Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, and I feel very embarrassed to talk about this game. I really enjoyed it. It is a peak RPG experience, and Geralt of Rivia is actually the like face of RPGs, I feel like, and for fantasy RPGs, and he's just so funny. And yeah, I don't know how else can you describe Geralt of Rivia. Besides that, I can't do a very good review of this game because it took me 6 years to beat. My first save was like in 2019, and I mean, I guess that could be considered a problem with the game, but also with me, because I'm just not into open world games anymore, and to be really engrossed with an open world game, I have to find the balance between doing the side content and the main story, because I will do too much of the side content and I will forget to do the main story, and then I'll burn myself out because I spent 20 hours doing side content. The Witcher 3 is literally an example of an open world game that just throws stuff at you. Your map is covered with question marks and you have to explore everything. And it is a very fun experience, but it is also very exhausting if you want to explore a lot. But I am very glad I finally was able to beat it, and I do want to try to do another run through eventually, and I just go straight through so I have a better understanding of the story as a whole and how everything connects better. I mean, the story is not too hard to understand, but when you have such large gaps between playing, it becomes a little bit difficult because you forget details. I'm also pissed because I didn't get the Witcher Ciri ending. I fucked up somehow. She didn't become, well, she did become Empress, but she chose to go there. I didn't like sell her off, but I'm still mad. I wanted her to be a Witcher and I fucked up. Lastly, I want to go over my favorite game of the month, which was Like a Dragon. And this was my favorite game of January. It made my month. I'm so glad I finally finished it because I got it pretty close to launch. I just, I forgot what happened. Oh yeah, I think I was waiting for the PS5 upgrade, and then I kept putting it off after that. I've played Yakuza 0, Kiwami 1, and Kiwami 2, and my favorite is Yakuza 0, and Like a Dragon is a close second. Still didn't beat Yakuza 0, but it is one of my top favorites now. I wasn't sure about Ichiban at first when he got announced, but I ended up loving him. He is such a sweetheart, and Kiryu and Ichiban are actually both really alike. I hope people realize that by now, despite like the surface differences. They both really love their friends and are very honorable people to their core, and also both are very stubborn. But Ichiban is so refreshing with how open he is with his emotions. There are so many moments in this game where it was a power of friendship moment, but it doesn't come off as cheesy because Ichiban is just so earnest with his emotions. Like, it's very dramatic, but I didn't have a problem with it when it would occur. Ichiban just truly cares about his people no matter how cruel they are to him. It's impressive. I would have given up on a lot of those people, but Ichiban is just that loyal. And you really get to connect with him, even though like we've had Kiryu for like 6 games. You really get to connect with Ichiban here because you spend a lot of time with him and you just see how he reacts to everything so clearly. He's just he's a character with a lot of range. You see him at like his most angry, his happiness, you see how sad he'll get, but at the end of the day, he's such big bundle of optimism that is so nice to see in a character. He is literally the definition of getting beaten down all the time, but will always find a way to rise up from his challenges. Literally his final quote, which I'll put up here, is his whole character. That's literally who he is, and I highly recommend this game to everyone. Also, from what I've played so far in the Yakuza series, this game has the best written women. I mean, I love Yakuza, but the women characters in this game are so strong. I really enjoyed Sayama from Kiwami 2, but Saiko and Sonhee are amazing. I love them a lot. And I'm so happy they're gonna be in the next game. Or at least Sonhee is. I know Saiko appears, but I don't know if she's a party member. I'll have to check on that. Forgot to show the case. I got the steelbook, and it's so nice. What? Can you like ASMR? Forgot to show that SMT5 is also a steelbook. This is what the steelbook looks like. ASMR again. But yeah, that is my first January recap. If you're seeing this, it means I didn't re-record it because this is a little bit rushed. I have plans today, but I wanted to record because I think this is the most convenient time that I have. And yeah. I don't know how long this will be. Maybe I'll re-record it and add more depth or something. We'll see. But for sure, I'll be back next month with another recap, and you'll get to hear about what games I'm playing. It's hard to judge how long these will be because I play a lot of long games, so sometimes I only play 2 games a month, and I don't know how long I could talk about that. Anyway, bye!